My best friend saw her with a man at a hardware store. Update. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. My girlfriend called me at 1 a.m. and apologized profusely, saying she didn't realize what time it had gotten to because she was busy. She normally calls me around 11:30 or so. I decided then and there that I was going to save the text from Dave, a screenshot of the email, and confront her when I got home. I weighed my options and decided it was better to be cheated on and let it go on a few extra days and spend time with my family, than to rush home or accuse her over the phone and find out she was planning something for my birthday. I think that would ruin her trust in me forever. Nothing seemed odd when she called. She asked after my family, sent me a few progress pictures of the quilt she was making for my mom, told me she loved me and that she would call me in the morning. Monday morning my grandma took a turn for the worse and my brother, mother, and father all gathered at the hospice to spend the final hours with her. Somewhere in the very wee hours of Tuesday morning she passed away from lung cancer. Seriously people, put down your cigarettes. We were really her only remaining family. My father was an only child, and she had no living siblings, and she had moved in with my parents a while ago and hasn't kept in touch with anyone. In lieu of planning a traditional funeral, we just decided to proceed with having her buried next to her husband's plot, something she had already pre-planned, paid for, and requested in her will, and spent Tuesday gathered around in the living room telling stories about her and looking through her shoeboxes full of photographs to create an updated photo album. It was nice, actually. My girlfriend kept in constant contact with me through this whole thing and talked to my parents as well. They love her. During that time I decided to let everything fall out of my mind other than my family. It was pretty evenly split on what people believed about my girlfriend, but what felt right in my gut was that she was planning something for me. Dave has been cheated on before and just wanted to look out for me. If I had asked him to confront her he would have done it in a heartbeat, but even he thought something was up knowing us for as long as he has. I asked him to leave it and that I would deal with everything when I got home. If there really was nothing going on, I didn't want to risk crushing her spirit when she was just trying to do something nice for me. I let my girlfriend know I would be home sometime Wednesday, but I was going to have breakfast with my family first. She requested I call her when I get in the state. This was my intention, but I was getting so homesick, and I just really needed to see my girlfriend. So I hit the road sometime around 5 a.m. With no rest stops and minimal traffic, I had a pretty great time and got home at 10:30 or so. As I pulled into the driveway, I saw the white truck parked there already. I swallowed the lump in my throat and walked up to the front door. I kept repeating in my head that I trusted her and that there was nothing going on. As I walked in the front door, which enters into the living room, I locked eyes with the guy. He was sitting cross-legged on the floor in sweatpants and a tank top eating cereal off my coffee table. He looked younger than I thought he would be from Dave's description. But he had a full beard and long black hair in a ponytail. He nodded and said, "Hey dude. Welcome back." Which felt odd. I just stood there, staring at him, wading through the surrealness of the situation looking for the right words. My girlfriend then came down the hallway, smiled, and hugged me. "Hey. I'm so sorry about Grandma. Any chance you remember my cousin Max? I know it's been a while." I stared at him and I swear I had never seen this person in my life. I just had this sinking feeling and only replied, "I don't think we have met." Aunt Ellen's son. The one that lives in another state. And suddenly it dawned on me. Her Aunt Ellen's husband, Uncle Joe, was her second husband. She married young but split up with his kid's father pretty early. Max lives with his dad in other state, and Max's dad is 100% Italian, which explains the hair. All I could say was, "Whoa man. You've grown up." He just laughed and said, "Yeah. I've changed a bit. The last time I saw this kid he was a chubby, neon green-haired, acne-covered teenager in a tap-out t-shirt. He really came out of puberty well. I think I last saw him 4 or 5 years ago on Christmas." She asked me if we could talk. So I followed her into our bedroom. She basically said he was moving back in with Aunt Ellen and getting a job as a grunt with her family construction company part-time. He wants to go to a local college around us and my girlfriend promised to help him fill out his FAFSA, polish his entrance letter, and study for his placement tests in exchange for some work. He went to an alternative trade school for carpentry his last 2 years of high school and my girlfriend's dad says he did pretty well. She said she had something planned for my man cave but they hit a few hang-ups and it's taking longer than expected. She brought our Xbox upstairs into the living room and has made me swear I will not enter the basement for any reason until my birthday. I debated pretending I wasn't worried at all, but I like that we are always honest with each other. I told her Dave saw her out with her cousin and had me a bit worried about him. She just laughed and said, "I didn't realize he saw us together. I thought you meant he just saw me." She said they had walked basically around opposite ends of the store shopping separately. They only met up to check out. She asked why I didn't just ask her who it was. She could have told me it was Max and still been able to keep the exchange of work under wraps and just told me about the college thing. I basically told her I didn't want to make her feel like I was accusing her of anything, which I think she appreciated. Max is going to be staying here a few more days longer than she planned, which I wish she would have told me about, but after this, that seems like nothing at all. I think she is a bit upset that I could even think for a moment she would cheat on me. But she said she was glad I didn't come flying home early kicking doors in or anything. So I think we are good. Just in case, I'm gonna kiss her ass for a while. Edit, maybe I should clarify that Max is not moving in with us. He is moving back in with his mom. He was already supposed to be home with her by the time I came home, but they hit some snags with whatever he is working on. He is staying a few more days to finish up, then going home to his mother's. I've had my brother over when she was visiting her best friend out of state before and it was a non-issue. We have a pretty open door policy when it comes to close friends and family, so having him over is a total non-issue for me. I see how it would be an issue for some people. But it's not in our relationship. I think she just wanted me to spend time with my family and not focus on what was going on at home in the slightest. She was going to tell me about the FAFSA/college thing if I asked, but since I didn't, she just decided to keep it under wraps. So everything worked out fine in the end. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Reddit deserves a happy story now and again. Congrats on having an awesome girlfriend. Treat her well and step out of your own head more often. This makes me unspeakably happy. After following 420 microbiologist nightmare with his GF on the cruise, I needed a happy ending. She sounds like a real keeper and I am glad you have someone like that during this tough time. Sorry for the loss of your grandmother. I wish you and your so the best. Here is the second story. Girlfriend borrowed money from me to pay for her car and cheated. My ex-girlfriend's car got repoed twice. She lost her job, didn't have one at all for almost a year. I know her car payments are close to $300 something a month, Mercedes-Benz. We were together for 3 years, I felt bad and encouraged her to get a job. She said she would get a job and pay me back if I could help her get the car back. First time around it was $1,200. So we paid for it. Months much later, she still had no job and it got taken a second time. I told her I'm not paying for it again. She calls me claiming she applied for a job as a nurse making $18 HR and would pay me back immediately. So I recorded the call this time with her saying I'm using my boyfriend's credit card blah blah. I loaned her more money, coming up to $3,600 total. Eventually I found out she was cheating on me. I broke up with her and she blocked me. Do I even have a case here? I have proof I paid for it twice and the recording, but zero proof of her saying she would pay me back. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.